Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Success Algorithms Simple Things podcast. This is a time when we try to let you know the things that make for success and how to very quickly, use those principles for success. Greatness is very simple, but it's not easy. The principles of greatness hasn't changed, rather, yeah, the principles of greatness haven't changed, but the dynamics the dynamics can change due to technology, economic models, civilization, globalization, and such things, but the dynamics, or rather the principles, are the same. In other words, if you apply those principles, you will be as successful as you want. But the truth is, a lot of people always want something easy. That is why you see people are always looking for miracles, even when the miracles are just, you know, God has given them the miracle in their brain, in their hands, for them to do something. People are looking for healing, even with the doctors and all those, but they end up eating sugar every second. They don't exercise, they don't relax, they're always tense. The point is very simple. The God who made you may not even save you without you. So, very important to note that you must help yourself. And that's what this program is for. How can we help you become more, achieve more, and have a beautiful life that is healthy, wealthy, and wise? If you've got that, let's go ahead because I wouldn't want to have my time to be too long here. So, the first thing is we are working on the topic, the theme, three lessons I learned from failure. Three lessons I learned from failure. Three lessons I learned from failure. Now, what is failure in the first place? Failure is lack of success. Very simple. Failure is lack of success. So when you lack success in your marriage, you lack success in anything you are doing. Can I have a drink of water? You lack success in your business, you lack success in your health. That is what we call failure. So failure is lack of success. But you see, very pertinent to say that almost every doer has failed at something. So let me tell you about, because of time, I may not tell you one by one what I've failed at or what I've failed in. But you see, I think failure is, or when you look at failure, how you perceive failure determines what you're going to do with failure. So I want to change your thinking a little about failure, and then you can do something beautiful with it. So let's start with three lessons I learned from failure. I failed in business, something I thought was right, and when doing it, and then somehow government policy, somehow my lack of understanding of the dynamics, somehow my lack of systems, somehow my lack of understanding of my target market, somehow my lack of understanding. In fact, most of those are lack of understanding that had made me to fail in anything I've ever failed in. Yeah. Maybe thankfulness, the failures haven't been very fertile, but I've learned some lessons. So the first lesson, I'm going to talk about three. The first lesson I learned from failure is only doers fail. Only doers fail. Okay? Only doers fail. Now, what that means, Yeah, is that you cannot fail if you are not doing. You cannot fail if you are not doing. I've seen a lot of people who have not failed at anything. They haven't failed at anything. But you see, how you will know that they haven't failed at anything is because they have not really achieved anything. For you to achieve something, it seems that you must fail. For you to achieve something, you must fail at something. In other words, failure is not designed by you. You are not looking forward to failing. But most times, because you are doing, and because the world is not perfect, sometimes things didn't go as you wanted, and then you failed. You can fail at the timing. In other words, you wanted to achieve that at a particular time, you didn't. You may still achieve it later, but you failed in the timing. You may fail in the quantity of success. So you wanted to get 10, you got 1. You wanted to get 2, you got 0. You may not even lose, but you didn't get what you wanted. Yes? So you may fail. You may have also calculated by so and so period, you would have achieved this or that, and you put in a lot of energy and effort, and it didn't go the way you wanted it. Yeah, you wanted to build a business so that that business can just take care of you, so you can face another thing. But you see, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, you are still in that business trying to make it work. Okay, so you may have failed. So failure is lack of success. But you see, a lot of people who haven't failed, a lot of people who never failed in anything, have not succeeded in anything too. So only doers fail. That's the first lesson you need to learn. Also, show me a successful person who has never encountered failure. Look around your surrounding. Look around your street, your vicinity, your state, your country, your local government, your county, and just show me one person who has never failed at something. Tade, welcome. The person hasn't failed at something. Let me know the person. Write the name of that person. So it's only persons who are doing that fail. So you need to pat yourself on the back for failing. Failure is a human condition. I see a lot of people who fail in something and they just want to kill themselves. Whether it's this marriage, whether it's in training your children, whether it's in your health, whether it's in anything. It may even be your mistake. The point is, it's a human condition. If you have never failed in anything, you are a god. If you've never failed in anything, you are God. Not even a God, you are God. So failure is a human condition. Even God regretted creating humans in the book of Genesis. Okay? So failure is a human condition. So never overly regret any failure. Never overly regret any failure. Don't be depressed because you failed in something. If you are depressed because you failed in something, what will happen is that over time, you are going to see that you will stop doing, and immediately you stop doing, you fail the more. So don't ever regret, yeah, regret. You know what? That, oh, I failed in this. I'm regretting it. There's nothing I can do again. Don't ever do that. Okay? Very important to note. The next thing is check every human endeavor. Check every human endeavor. Politics, check leadership positions, check family, check research, check academics, check every human, endeavor, raising your children, check around building houses and all those. You will discover that people have failed. Even in your own life, you will discover that you failed in some of these things. But look at it too. Whether you are talking about Abraham Lincoln or you are talking our own Buhari, I think Buhari failed. Is it 4 times before he won? Think about that. Think about it. Check around your vicinity. You see people, even in politics, who have failed many times. The truth is, failure is a human condition. So don't kill yourself because of that. The next thing is that don't have mortal failures. There are failures you will have, it will kill you. You can't go on the road and you are just driving recklessly. You may die. So avoid mortal failure, failures that will kill you. But apart from that, you may not be able to avoid failures in total. So let's look at this. I've talked about the first one. The first one is that failure can only happen to doers. So if you have failed before, make sure that you clap for yourself. That is number one. Number two lesson I learned from failure is that you must be very serious to fail fast, carefully, early enough. In other words, fail fast, carefully, early enough. In failing, fail fast, fail carefully, fail early enough. In failing, fail fast, fail carefully, fail early enough. What do I mean by that? What I mean is if you do not understand that failure is always a stepping stone to where you are going, you will always avoid failing. And then later you find out that you must fail. So all the things you should have tried when you were a youth, all the things you had tried at a younger age, you start trying them at an older age. So what happens? Immediately you start having very serious issues. You start failing at an older age. No, fail fast, fail at a younger age, fail fast, but fail carefully. Okay, fail carefully so that at the end of the day, you are able to have capacity for great things. If you don't fail fast, you will have problem with your life. So fail fast, fail very fast. You know, that's why start that business right now and fail. Don't wait until you know you are too old. Start that thing right now. Fail right now. Fail. So that when you are too old, you have learned your lesson. That is the point I am making. Okay? Good. Sorry. I need to change to my another lighting point um for my computer. Yeah. Okay. So fail very fast and fail carefully. That is very important. So number one, you must understand that doers only doers fail. Number two, you must fail fast, carefully. You must fail fast, carefully, and you must fail early enough. Please, those things that you are afraid of right now, go and do them. Go and do them. If you do them at a particular age, if you want to start a business, start right now. If you want to marry, marry right now. If you want to, go into politics, go right now. If there's no better time in eternity than now. If you wait until you are too old, you will start failing because there is nothing you will do that you won't fail. The other day I was teaching people something and I went to Forbes list of richest people. That particular day, Elon Musk lost 1.5 billion dollars. 1.5 billion that Elon Musk lost. That was about 3 days ago or so. He lost 1 point on Wednesday. He lost 1.5 billion dollars. So the truth is that even up to today, they lose, they gain. If you check today now, he may have gained $2 billion today. That is how it is. So fast, carefully, fail fast, carefully, early enough, because there is nothing you will ever do that you won't encounter setbacks and failures, whether they are research, whether have you ever written a grant proposal before? Yeah, you find out that somehow you fell. They didn't call you. There are people who apply for the 20 million entrepreneurship program for the first time, and they didn't take them, and they are sulking, they are unhappy, like they are rejected. Another no, you are not rejected, okay? You are not rejected. It is just an issue of they don't want what you applied for. You are applying for poetry. They don't want poetry. Maybe they want medical services. Maybe they want um, consultancy. Maybe they want information technology. Maybe they want fintech or fintech. Maybe they. So don't go and kill yourself because they didn't take you. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You are a success already. So be able to move on. Okay, so that is the second one. Lessons I learned. Three lessons failure taught me. Number one was only doers fail. Number two is fail fast, carefully, early enough. Then number three, we're going to spend some time there, but I'm going to run. Yes, number three is that failure has an algorithm. Failure has an algorithm. Please listen carefully. Failure has an algorithm. In other words, failure has within it the seed that you can use to actually grow and become better and bigger. Failure has within it the seed you can use to grow and become better. Okay? So, what that means is that if you look deeper into failure, you will see, sorry, if you look deeper into failure, you will see um, some of the ingredients that will make you grow. So I'm going to show them to you. We're going to use that word failure and we find the algorithm inside of it. The word failure, we're going to use it and we find the algorithm inside of the failure. So we're going to use the word F. Now F stands for fearization of trying. F stands for fearization of trying. I hope somebody will help me write down that out. Fearization of trying. Okay. Now, when you understand that one of the major reasons people fail is they fear trying things out. Now, this thing sounds simple, but you don't know how much power it has. I have done some certain things, thank you, fearization of trying. I've done some certain things that I thought I would not succeed in, but I just succeeded. I just said, wow, so this worked. And people will think I'm wise. No, I did it afraid. I was afraid, but I did it nevertheless. Okay? I was afraid, but I did it. So a lot of people fear trying. From now, stop fearing trying. Don't fear to try. Try. If you fail, it is only doers that fail. If you fail fast, carefully, and fail early enough. Always remember that. Don't be afraid of trying. That doesn't mean you shouldn't prepare. Okay? Prepare and try. And there are things you will never, never for the third time, you will never know until you start doing. There are things you will never know until you start doing. If you've not built a house before, when you start building, you're going to see, oh, they may tell you this house is 100 million naira. But when you start building, the foundation is this one, the soil test shows that this one shows that, oh, inflation just went up within that time. Oh, this one, that one, or um, trailer carrying your chippings or whatever had an accident. You see and start seeing quite a lot you never thought, yes, will come in. Always know it. Try. In fact, a lot of times you will start a product and you think, oh, this product, I want it to go this way or that way. This is what I want the product. By the time you start with the product, you find out the product will take a life of its own, and then it will turn into some other thing. I'll give you an example. We started a program for Imo State University, um, BME, Business Management and Entrepreneurship Program. We wanted it to be because the governor at that time invited my company to come and train all the trade cycle operators in the state. So, because the governor at that time thought, and we researched and found that a lot of time the taxi drivers, the keke drivers, um, the Okada drivers, they're the people who give the city a very bad name. In fact, when the taxi drivers carry a foreigner from the airport, okay, what did they come do here? Now, wow, this is our state. Now, wow, you come here. They will discourage those people. So the governor then called us to come and help him, reorientate them. When we came, we finished with them, I think a day or 2 or 3 days program. But we now, in conjunction with the university, wanted them to start a certificate course in the university. There were many in thousands. We wanted them to start a course. When they started, and when the course was advertised on newspapers, you know, those tricycle and operators and taxi drivers, they said, oh, they want the governor to pay for them. Even though I could make the governor pay for them, or talk to the governor to pay for them, I don't believe that certificate courses should come from government. I don't believe that. Why? Because they won't come to class, and when they come to class, they won't pay attention. They will just answer their calls and all those. So I wanted them to pay, so I didn't push for the government to pay. But while we were on that, almost confused because we designed this program for them, somebody who was like a permanent secretary in that state called and said, I am retiring soon. I have not had any formal business training, even though I studied business and all those. I've had, you know, some hustles by the side which failed. So I don't know how you can do this. But this program is reading that it is for tricycle operators. I can't, as a permanent secretary, come and start doing training for them. We said no. It is a mistake in the advert. It is for people who want to start business or businesses. So tomorrow's advert, we're going to remove the tricycle you know. So that man redirected us and made us know that even people who who are not tricycle operators can be part of this program. And that was how we changed the title of that program, calling it Business Management and Entrepreneurship, Executive Program, a certificate course. And we train hundreds and thousands of people. And I bet you the people we train in the tricycle family may not be more than five, but we train hundreds of thousands in that program. The point I wanted to make is when you start, you can now start seeing quite a lot of things that you never thought were going to come out or you never thought possible. So don't be afraid of trying, okay? Don't be afraid of trying. Okay, we've done 24 minutes already. Take out a minute or a second to share. Click on the share button, share on your WhatsApp groups, share on your Facebook, share and share, please. And then click on the thumb up button. Click on the thumb up button and be able to thumb up this video so that the algorithm can, make it appear to more people. If you have not subscribed, click on subscribe button and put on the notification bell. I want you to do that right now, please. Thank you for the thumb up. I want you to do that right now. I'm waiting. Do that immediately. Share with your friends. Okay, so we've talked about F in failure, and we say is fearization of trying. And we agreed that from now, even though you are afraid, you are going to do it afraid. Do it afraid. Okay, that's number one. Then, sorry, that's number F um in the failure has an algorithm, which is number three. So now the A in failure, Failure. F is fearization of trying. A is ask no questions. I have 14 more minutes to go, so I'll rush through something. Ask no question. F, fearization of trying. A, ask no question. Ask no question if you don't want to succeed. In failure, one of the major factors of failure is not asking questions. You want to go into a business, you've not asked those who are doing it, you've not taken a course, you want to systemize your business, you haven't taken any course on how to systemize your business. You want to speak in public, you've not taken any course on public speaking for income and impact. You want to import something from abroad, you've not gone through any training on how to import things. You've not asked people. Yes, people say, oh, they read an average of one book or a day or three books a week. You say it's a lie. You've not asked, how do you do that? People say they make 100 million a month, and you say it's a lie. Why don't you find out how do they make that much a month? How? What do they do? So one of the ways to actually be a failure is to ask no question. Ask no question. There are empowering questions and there are disempowering questions. There are empowering questions and there are disempowering questions. Empowering questions are those questions that you ask and the answer contributes to something beautiful in your life. But disempowering questions are those questions you ask and they do not contribute anything. They make you unhappy. For instance, I'm physically challenged, disabled in my lower limbs. Every day, if I ask the question, God, why me? God, why me? Okay. So what will the answer be? What do I want God to answer, you know, in reply? What do I want him to answer? To tell me why me? The question I should be asking, God, how can I, though disabled, be very successful? God, what are some of the things I can do, even though I'm physically challenged? I will make enough money to be wealthy, but it will not destroy my health. God, how can I take good care of my health so that even though I'm physically challenged, I can comfortably be so healthy, have no sickness from diabetes to asthma to high blood pressure to or pains in the body. How can I achieve that? Those are questions I should be asking. Don't ask God, why me? What do you want? He say, okay, because you're a sinner. Then what will he solve for you? God, why me? And he said, it's because you are stubborn. What will he do for you? So always ask empowering questions. Stop asking this empowering questions. That's for number two. I rather number A, which is ask no questions. Then we have the I in failure. I've talked about F, fearization of trying. A, ask no question. I, intentionalization deficit. Intentionalization, not internationalization. Intention, intentionalization, okay? Not internationalization. Intentionalization deficit. Intention, okay? So intentionalization deficit is the I in failure. When you don't have intention, very, very solid intention on what you want to do, every wind can just carry you because you are not focused. Intentionalization deficit has to do with understanding why you are in what you are. I'll give you an example. A lot of people online are making a lot of money, but a lot of people who are watching them are taking the whole thing serious. They don't understand that these guys are playing the game of making money. They are not playing the game of the seriousness. So they're showing where they're quarreling with their wives, and then you are giving them advice. They're showing where they're quarreling with a colleague, or they're showing where they're beefing a fellow musician because they want to release an album, they want to release, you know, a hit, and they are making all the trouble. They are, you know, but you are saying I'm their fan. You are just killing yourself. Stop being funny and foolish. Always understand the power of intention. Know what you want. I say it every time you're watching television, you're watching those who have made it. Most people who have big televisions, they don't appear on televisions. Those who do not have who appear on televisions, they don't even watch television because they are so busy. They are so busy they don't watch television. That's why I tell you, watch ideas on television. Don't watch television. Why? Because everybody you see on television, you are watching those who are living their dreams, whether it's the broadcasters or whether it's the politicians or whether, oh, you say EFCC versus this one. They are discussing on politics today. They are discussing on the hangout of journalists hangout. Who are they discussing? They're discussing individuals who have achieved their dreams and they're discussing them, and then you are contributing. I'm not saying you shouldn't contribute, but you must have intentionalization power. Don't be deficit on intention. Have capacity for good, for intention. What do you want to really achieve? Yes, anywhere you appear and what do you want to achieve? Intentionalization, not internationalization. Intentionalization deficit. Intentionalization deficit. Yeah, intentionalization deficit, not internalization. That's a mistake. Okay. So have intention. Now, I always ask people, and if you are here, I want you to actually write down for me how much is your 1 hour worth? How much is your 1 hour worth? A lot of people don't know. In fact, in my programs, I help people find out how much their 1 hour is worth, how much their 1 minute is worth. So when they are spending time gossiping or spending time arguing or spending time lazing about, they can understand how much they are squandering. Okay? Always have intentions and don't be deficit on intention. Now, the L in failure is lazinization of actions. Lazinization of actions. Now, if you want to be a failure, be a very lazy person when it comes to your actions. You can spend 200 years planning something. I'm still waiting. I want the government. I want this one. I want, just always procrastinate, and you want things. So, oh, I'm waiting for one equipment from China, and I'm waiting for another from, and I'm waiting for the light, or I'm waiting to get loan from bank. Just be that person who is always procrastinating. Lazinization of action is for the L in failure. If you want to be unsuccessful, become a lazy person when it comes to your action. What have you done with all the ideas God gave you from January to now? What have you done with all the ideas God gave you in this decade, 20, 2020 till now? What have you done with all those book ideas, business ideas, product ideas that God gave to you? What have you done with them? That is what we call lazinization of action. And the reason I've not done it is because the reason I've not done it is because the reason I've not done it is because I wanted to do it, but that is lazinization of action. I want to encourage you to understand the power of swift execution. The power of swift execution. Immediately you have it, start progress, start process, start something that will help you to start that idea. One of the greatest understanding God will give you on earth is that ideas are things. Ideas are things. Immediately you understand that, you won't be joking with your idea. When God wants to bless you, He brings good people, He brings good ideas. There's no other way. He cannot throw money from heaven. If He does, probably you won't be even be able to catch it because you may not be strong enough to catch the money He threw from heaven. So always understand that and be very fast with your execution. Execution is the only difference between the people who achieve more and the people who achieve less. Because most times the people who achieve more are executors, they are doers. Remember, in our programs, we will always say only doers go to the bank. Only doers go to the bank. Okay? So that is L, legitimization of action. Let's talk about the U in failure. Failure. So let's talk about the U. We said the F is fearization of trying. We said that the A is ask no questions. We said that I is intentionalization deficit. We said that L is legitimization of actions. Then the U is urgency aversion. A lot of people don't like anything urgent. You see, they don't have a sense of urgency. They have exam coming up in 1 month, and they are just lazing about watching comedy. They have a business starting in the next 2 weeks. They are just, talking and they're not doing anything. A lot of people don't have urgency. They are giving birth to children, multiple children. They have given birth to twins, they've given birth to five other kids, they've even, and they don't think that they have to be very, very, very to have a sense of very serious urgency. These kids are growing. My first child is 12. My second child is 8. My third child is this one. My first child is 18. They'll soon start going to university and other. They don't have any sense of urgency. They're not saving. They're just thinking that God will do it when He wants. God will do it when He wants. May not be all the truth. God would do it when He wants. May not be the truth too. Look at the birds. Look at the birds. Their lives are telling us that though God has provided the food, we need fly out to the field. Mr. Lazy Man, run to the field and live. Mr. Lazy Man, run to the field and live. Though God has provided the food, though God has provided the food, though God has provided the food, we need run out to the field. There's this bird that was in the nest and was praying, God provide food for me. And there are this apprentice that went to buy food from food vendor, and he was coming out from the food vendor, traversing a field to his workshop, and he stumbled upon, because of the prayer of the bird, he stumbled upon a stone, and some of the rice poured out. And the bird was in the nest, still praying, still praying. God provide for me. God provide for me. And all the ways God is trying to tell him, nudging him, hey, guy, I provided for you. Just go out to this field in front of you. He kept, whistling and asking God to provide, and the food rotten rotten there in the field, and the bird died in the nest. While the bird was about dying, the bird said, God, take my soul, because I think it's your will that I die. You brought me here on earth, you brought and you have taken. Let my soul rest in peace. And God said, your soul won't rest in peace. So because I've provided the food, you've allowed it to rotten. And the birds thought it's the will of God. Now, the question, what's the will of God? The death of the bird or the rotten food in the field? Mr. Lazy Man, run to the field and leave. Mr. Lazy Man, run to the field and leave. Though God has provided the food, though God has provided the food, though God has provided the food, you need fly out to the field. So always remember that you need to have a sense of urgency. You need to have a sense that tells you, hey, time is going. I'm turning 10, I'm turning 20, I'm turning 14, I'm turning 30, I'm turning 40, I'm turning 50. Actually have a sense of urgency. A sense of urgency is different from worrying. Worrying is a negative prayer. You are asking God to do what you are worrying about. Anytime you are worrying, you are praying that God will do what you are worrying about. Worrying is prayer in the negative. If you're worrying about your children, you're worrying about their safety, you are telling God, hey, I want my children to be harmed. Go and read, is it Job 3:25? Job said, that which I have greatly feared has come upon me. So understand that worrying is prayer in the negative. Okay? So have urgency. Don't have urgency aversion. Have urgency. Think things through and say, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, I will be 50, I'll be 100, I'll be 20. What have I achieved in this area? How do I want my life to be? What can I do now so that my future self can thank me for doing that right now? Okay, that is you, urgency aversion. Then we have the my time is up 100%. We have the R, routinization of life. A lot of people have routinized life so much. What you did in January is what you did in February, what you did in March, what you did in April, what you did in May, what you are going to do in June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And then you want something different. No. If you do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. A lot of people have routinized their life. Their life is a routine. Don't routinize your life. Failure comes from routinization of life. How many books have you started and finished in the last 3 months? How many new things have you tried to do? What new thing have you done in the last 3 months? If you think about it, so important that you understand that you should never routinize your life. Routine kills your destiny. Routinization of life is the killer of destiny. Do new things that are progressive, new things that will lead you even into new things that you even afraid of. Yes, you are afraid of speaking in public. Go out there and speak in public. You are afraid of marketing. Go out there and market. You are afraid of negotiation. Go out there and negotiate. You are afraid of sales. Go out there and sell. You are afraid of whatever closing deals. Go out there and close. You are afraid of submitting proposal. Go out there, write one and submit. You are afraid of writing for grant. Go out there, write grant. You are afraid, whatever it is you are afraid of. Go out there and do it. Don't routinize your life. Okay? Routinization of life is one way to failure. And I talk about the last one, the E, Failure. We said F is fearization of trying, A is ask no question, I is intentionalization deficit, um, L is legitimization of actions, U is urgency aversion, R is routinization of life, and then E is excusitization of responsibility, excusitization of responsibility. Now, if you want to be a failure, give enough excuse. If you give enough excuse about everything, you will fail. You don't need to do any more thing. Give enough excuses. Excusitization of responsibility is one of the reasons that people are who they are, where they are doing what they are doing. The reason, the truth is that no excuse is good enough for failure. I told you I had poliomyelitis when I was a little over a year. And you see, up to today, I don't have excuse and impossibility in my dictionary. Why? No matter how much excuse I give, it cannot marry a wife for me, it cannot give me children, cannot train my children, cannot send me to school, cannot give me my PhD, cannot buy houses for me, it can buy cars, it can build companies for me. I need to stand on myself and refuse to give excuse. Excuses are made by people because you to they want you to, you know, pity them. They want you to pity them. Ladies and gentlemen, my listeners, nobody will pity you. Pity is to a person what abandonment is to a building. Pity is to a person what abandonment is to a building. Don't ever want people to pity you, because pity does no job. So excusitization of responsibility. Take your responsibility. Don't give excuses. You've always had it. Don't complain. Your friends don't need it. Don't explain. Your enemies will not even believe you. Don't complain. Your friends don't need it. Don't explain. Your enemies will not believe you. Don't complain. Your friends don't need it. Don't explain. Your enemies will not believe you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have, in the last 45 minutes, told you what I have learned. Yeah, I have learned uh, through my failure. The three things failure has taught me. Now, use tell us what you want to learn. Tell us. A lot of people are sending in, um, you know, thank you and all those, but I still want to know what you want to learn. Give me topics about what you want to learn. Send it to 090 and we are going to work on those topics. Some people say they want to learn pricing techniques. I think Wednesday we're going to talk about three pricing techniques for your um okay, we may not talk about that because we still have an outstanding how to create your lock. So I don't know which one. Three pricing technique for your services and consulting job, or um how to create your lock. So send those topics you want us to treat, or ask us questions so that we can use it. We can answer those questions as topics, and then you're able to learn. Now, the person who is coordinating this podcast is Lady PJ. Lady PJ is a social media manager and social media um, analyst. She can help you with your social media penetration. She's a strategist when you want to use it for marketing, for building influence, and all those. She can design programs, help you post, manage your account. So if you feel that your social media is not growing,